I found it very funny you using Google Translate saying, I'm going to slap your face during the fight on Google Translate. Did Google Translate get that right for him?
I think he got nervous. He got nervous. I saw it. You could see, man, that he got nervous.
Are you gonna hit him like Nick Diaz, Nate Diaz with that voice?
Man, now I'm making my investments like this very safely. And man, even before joining the UFC, my life was always hectic, you know. Yeah, like when I was still at Gloria, when I was here in Canary with Glover, Glover would see it and say, "Man, you have to slow down a bit, man. You never stop, man. I can't, you know." I'm there, moving all the time, right? And man, I think that's it. It's the accumulation, of work, of training, of everything, injuries, and well, things started getting worse.
Hey guys, Renato Moicano here. I'm here with the champ who gave us this support. Thanks to Poatan for giving this support to Renato Moicano's channel. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. We're in this together, man. It's us.
We're in this together. And if you're already watching, go ahead and subscribe, leave a like. I just wanted to ask a few questions because I've been following all your content on social media. It's been a while. I've always followed your YouTube. But now you're showing a lot from your camp. Like, for example, the knee strike you gave those guys, my brother, you're showing everything, right? The prank you pulled on us here. And what I wanted to ask you is this. What is the main difference? Or is it the same thing between kickboxing and MMA, where the training camp's done the same way?
Man, in kickboxing, it was different for me because I kind of trained on my own, right? It's different today, right? Today I'm learning a lot. So Glover's style. That had experience with many well-known athletes. So it's about learning a bit from each person, from each professional. In kickboxing, I was kind of lost, kind of alone. And also I, did it the way I thought was right, And, it's quite different. Even the weight loss. Yeah, today I do weight loss much better, right? I think it's correct, right? Because we also have all the support, right, from the UFC. And, and also with Glover there, the experience he has, like before, man, I didn't have this thing of, hydrating your body, right? Hyperhydrating your body so you can, dehydrate. I thought that, I didn't have to drink water for a while, drink a little bit of water and then today I see, right, how much I did it in a way that, I would say wrong, it worked, right? But, it could have been better,
But did you also lose a lot of weight in kickboxing?
Well, no, there were some moments, man. What happened? There were some open games where I weighed 91 kilograms at the time, 91. Yeah, 91 kilos, and I fought in the 81. So, man, I was lean. Can you imagine? Today, man, 100, I was these days with 110 kilos, right? And, in kickboxing at the time, I was going to fight in the open games. I weighed 91, which was already skinny, and then, I lost 10 kilos to fight in the 81. So it was really tough, and I did it that way, I spent a few days just wetting my lips. Damn, really complicated. I also didn't eat properly, and, but it worked out the same way.
Did you participate in the boxing circuits too in São Paulo? Did you do boxing matches too?
Man, in boxing, I started having some fights, right? I must have, I think, 15 amateur boxing fights. And at that time, man, I was doing boxing fights, not so much to have a career in boxing. I really wanted to fight more, because for me, at least in boxing, the body didn't get hurt as much, right? Different from kickboxing, a lot of kicking, right? The shin hits, cuts, pain. In boxing, no, you see that people fight, I think, every week, amateur boxers. So I did that just to get around. I did professional kickboxing fights, did amateur fights, because you can do both. And I was using boxing for that too. And because also there wasn't, to do sparring, there wasn't much sparring. There weren't many people who really wanted to do sparring. So I was doing boxing matches to kind of do my sparring. And then, man, I started getting good results, right? If you see there, the boxing crowd, they know me there, especially in Sao Paulo, where I participated in some championships. And people started, at that time, they started saying, the guy is a professional kickboxer. Oh, he can't. They were already cutting out the kickboxing people who had good boxing, It wasn't just kickboxing.
But the kickboxing people had good boxing skills, and the boxing guys didn't want to lose to the kickboxing guys. You know, they would say, "Damn, the guy trains kickboxing." Man, I was there, and honestly, I was beating everyone, dude. And like, well, then I think it didn't happen to me, but with some people, it happened that the person won the fight, and like people already knew the guy was a professional kickboxer, and then waited to see. Let's see, does the guy have a name in boxing? Yeah, so let's wait. Let's see if if he loses, then the kickboxing guy showed results, you know. But if the guy wins, well, then we take that victory away from him. That happened a few times, not with me, right? And then like they didn't want to take that risk. Let's see if he beats Portan, you know. Yeah, then that was a long time ago. Then I went professional in boxing, had a boxing match. Then my boxing sparring ended because I couldn't do it anymore. Because I already had a professional boxing match and I couldn't go back to amateur at the time. But today I think you can, if I'm not mistaken.
I see. Because it's like you said, you were using boxing competitions as sparring, let's say, right? Then they didn't allow it anymore when you turned professional. But did you ever think about becoming a professional boxer and pursuing that career?
Yes, I thought. Yeah, I thought. But well, I think the doors there are more difficult, right? Well, I saw some moments there. It's a lot of clicks, you know? Just like with the people who were, I don't know the guys very well and all, but when I fought in the Golden Gloves, there were three guys like, you know, with names from the Brazilian national team and everything. Damn, I had 3 fights. I knocked out all 3, you know? And like the president at the time of the São Paulo Federation he took my name, you know, for me to go to the Olympics, something like that for the guys to see, you know?
But there was no response. It didn't lead to anything, you know? So it's those who are part of the group there.
And would it also be a dream of yours to be an Olympic champion?
Dream? No, man. Actually, I never had a dream of being a champion of anything like that, of fighting, you know? No, not at the beginning, right after I saw the possibility. Yes, same thing with boxing. If you ask me now, I say, of course, damn, we're in, you know, man. And there are already many well-known people considering having a boxing match. And they're going to say no. Of course I want to, you know? And so it's not something that only focuses on money, popularity, but like on the conditions themselves, because I think there's a cool boxing that many people, well, don't want to talk about, you know? But, well, I've already done with some people, and, well, I've also fought just like people who were Olympic medalists, right? Well, I won, I knocked them out, but it's what I said, it's a bit difficult. Now, where I am, right, it's I've already expressed my desire to box, right? And we see that, well, today my name is much bigger, right? And it's unfortunately or fortunately, that's how it is, you know? You're there, you're appearing, you have a name in another. This is happening all the time. There's a name here, another name there. Let's bring the two together and make a super fight, things like that.
I wanted to ask you this because everyone already talks a lot about your MMA career, but why do I want to ask you about kickboxing? Because I see several guys who wanted to be champions in kickboxing. They wanted to continue in kickboxing, but many said the following: well, there's not as much money or not as much fame. I wanted to know the following: which do you really prefer? Was it MMA or was it kickboxing? Did you come to MMA because of the money, because there were more opportunities, or because the people were worse? Did you have any passion for fighting or not? Was it always professional?
No, suppose when I started, I just wanted to stop drinking. That was it, nothing more, right? And then later, well, I kept training, and then after a while, after a few years, right? I damn started to believe it wasn't like I started fighting and like I said, oh man, I want to live from fighting. No, I started there, man. I was in training, standing out. Then I did amateur fights, started to stand out. In kickboxing, I think I have 28 amateur fights and 25 of them by knockout. Like, I think almost all in the first round, something like that, right? So, well, like I stood out well, then I went professional.
Started standing out too, several knockouts. And then I went abroad, right? To Glory. I managed to get into Glory. But it's like you said, the money is really little, right?
In kickboxing, yes. In kickboxing.
In kickboxing. Yeah, in kickboxing. I was champion thereof. In the 5 title defenses, I was champion in 2 categories, right? It wasn't something that like I couldn't see it and say, well, I'm going to do everything I did in kickboxing. Imagine where I stopped that I was already big there. Let's say I defend my belt 3 more or I don't know, 4 or 5 times. Like, I was gonna stop afterward and, like, I wouldn't have a life like people might think maybe. Oh, the Glory champion made, wow, 10 title defenses and such. It's totally different, right? So I would be doing well there. Just like at that time when I fought, I managed to buy a small apartment for myself. I managed to buy a house for my mother, right? It's also something small. Today I am in another place, right? But in the beginning, it was an apartment for me, a house for my parents, right? Being able to, eat well, have a nice life, right? And if I stopped at that moment, well, I don't know what would happen. Maybe I would have to do another type of work. I didn't have money like that to invest, make an investment. And maybe, yes, an investment, but like, well, it would be like that. I wouldn't have a life, of being able to travel or something like that.
I understand. I understand. Speaking of investment, do you handle your investments yourself or do you have someone who does it for you?
Man, I take charge of everything. I like, to be on top of everything.
Do you like Bitcoin? Have you ever bought any Bitcoin or not yet? Not yet?
No, those risky things, man. I don't
Got it.
I don't take risks, no. Now I'm making my investments like this very safely. Like I said, I'm calm, I'm doing well, thank God. And man, with risk to earn 10, and here it's fine with 5, man. Live peacefully. Yeah, for me that.
You prefer the basics. Now let me ask you something. I've seen several interviews where you say you don't follow the UFC much. Sometimes you don't even know if the guy was ranked or not, right? It was when you went to fight Sean Strickland, you didn't even know he was ranked. You just think about hitting the guy. Now see, you still don't follow it like as you said, you didn't start in MMA because you watched it. You started because you wanted to stop drinking.
Do you still not watch, not like to follow it?
No, I don't follow. I just watch like that when
The opponent, right?
yeah, the opponent, and sometimes like there's a highlight that everyone wants to get together. We gather friends and we're there, grab a pizza, do something like that, and we want a specific fight, and then see. I'm not very interested. So like we're there talking, we're watching the other fights, and there are some moments, well, people I might not know, I get to know because it's a fight that's really standing out, it's unfolding, and we pay more attention. At least I pay more attention to it, but suddenly we're waiting for a specific fight, and that's how it is.
And was it the same in kickboxing? You didn't follow others or have any idols, right?
No, when I went to fight, man, it was in 2014 there, and the guys, well, all stars, there was a crowd with me that followed, even like the camera guy, follows, and usually the guys like it, right? And well, then they would say, wow, man, this guy, then they would say the names and all.
Yes.
Who is it, man? Do you know them, man? Well, no, I don't know them, man. But they were big names in kickboxing. But like, man, to be clear, I'm not disrespecting anyone. People might not know. It is different. It's when people say, oh, what about so-and-so? I said, oh, man, I don't know them. Then people don't know, right? And then they say, oh, the guy is dismissing, trying to put the person down and such. But that's not it. It's that I'm not that guy who followed fights, who liked fights, that my father or my uncle or anyone in my family was a fighter or who encouraged me. I didn't have that. No. I simply found a sport that could save me from drinking. That's what happened. I got into it. I wasn't interested in making money from fighting. I wasn't interested in being a champion, and I wasn't interested in studying fighting, And then later, well, I just started to get results and everything. But even so, I still wasn't interested.
So maybe that's why you ended up developing your style, right? Because why am I asking you about kickboxing? I fought kickboxing twice. I'm bad. I'm a grappling guy, right? But I used to watch Peter Ertz, right? Bodzinski, all the old K1 guys. Jerome Lebanner, I used to watch. And the guy tries to imitate the old guy, right? Since maybe you're not a fan, you made your own style. But why am I asking you this? Because all the guys who come from kickboxing, it seems that in MMA, they end up not finding the distance, right, that you have. For example, Gokhan Saki, who was a kickboxing legend, came to the UFC and didn't do well. Maybe because of that God where the guy stays at a distance. I wanted to know why I think it was you and Adesanya from kickboxing who did well in MMA the way you did. And today you have become the biggest name in the UFC. I wanted to know why.
What is the technical difference between fighting, standing up in kickboxing and in mixed martial arts?
Man, I think like this, to have this transition, right, from kickboxing to MMA, I think it's all about defense. I see it like this, man. Look, if you have a good defense against strikes, you know how to absorb a kick well, a strike to the face, that is coming to the face, putting the guard on the body, you can get closer,
I think I have a good defense, even though people say, oh, about the low guard and all that. I think I have a perception, right? First, a perception, right? And then a good defense, right? And I think that allows you to be closer. If you look at my fights, you'll see I'm always close, man. I'm getting there, you know? Yeah, because I have a good strike defense. What happens? If you don't have a good defense against strikes like Adesanyo's, people saw I was with Adesanya. I was watching there all the time, right? I wasn't in the UFC, but I was watching, you know, there, well, the way that, and people behaved with him. To few people from grappling, you know, they wanted to grab him. But if the guy doesn't have good hand defense there on the body, that doesn't know how to absorb a kick, which is, well, a strong kick, you can lose the fight there because of a kick, you know? Not that you'll be knocked out by a kick, but, well, you'll be afraid of taking more kicks there and such. So you start distancing yourself more. So if you want to grab the guy, you will have to get close. And to get close, you need to have a good defense. If you don't have a good defense, you won't be able to grab the guy. You understand? So I saw that a lot. So I think I have a good defense and can get close there and will be alert for takedown attempts.
Yes, I understand. And regarding that fight, the one with Caleb, everyone talked a lot about the takedown defense. It turned out he didn't take you down, and you landed a kind of kickboxing move that a sweep on him there. He ended up falling to the ground. But what I wanted to ask you is this: the sixth round mentioned the news. You saying that you were at 40% for the fight, right? For that last fight, can you say what happened that you weren't at 5%?
Man, good. It was, this preparation was tough, you know, right? The trips and all. I think it was an accumulation, you know, like I did this practically all my camps, you know, it was always like this. And man, even before joining the UFC, my life was always hectic, you know. Yeah, like when I was still at Gloria, when I was here in Canaria with Glover would see it and say, man, you have to slow down a bit, man. You never stop, man. I can't, you know. I'm there, you know, moving all the time, right? And man, I think that's it. It's the accumulation, you know, of work, of training, of everything, injuries, and well, things started getting worse. And well, I ended up messed up. Yeah, just to give a few little details, I got kind of messed up, you know. And
Did you end up getting sick, like with some illness?
if you take a photo, if I'm not mistaken, from the press conference where I'm wearing an outfit like, you know, blue and white, something like that, man, you see my mouth all messed up, you know, I got a fever, a lot of things, you know, and then, damn, that broke me. Honestly, man, I'm not worried, right? Now, I'm going to fight again. I'm really happy to have this opportunity and to be well the way I am. Because, man, I'm going to say it like this. I'm going to say, I don't know if I should say it right, but on one hand, I was happy, you know, to have done this fight the way I was. I don't know how the opponent was, you know, but damn, he says he was fine and all that. I don't know. Okay, but the way I was and the guy, I couldn't do anything. It even left a doubt, you know? So, like, man, of course I'm going to get there. I was 40%. Of course I'm going to get there, like, much more than 50, but I just need 10 more, you know? If I have 10% there, man, compared to the last fight I had with him, I'll be doing really well, honestly.
I understand. And another thing that I'm seeing a lot of people talk about was the issue of the provocation you had there with Caleb. I found it very funny you using Google Translate saying, I'm going to slap your face during the fight on Google Translate. Did Google Translate get that right for him?
I think he got nervous. I saw it. You could see, man, that he got nervous.
Are you gonna hit him like Nate Diaz with that voice?
Man, I said it, you know, man, but I'm not an idiot, you know. I think I'm very intelligent, and like if I have an opportunity, of course I'm going to take it. I'm not going to keep looking, you know. If I do the fight, man, I want to win, you know. If I don't land a hit on him, it's all good for me. I just want to win. And that's it, man. I say things. I mean, I said that, you know, because he, man, talked about me all the time.
On Twitter, right? He was on Twitter.
Yeah, no, the whole time, since the first fight, man, since the first fight. I even want, you know, the people who follow your channel to say, you know, on the day of the press conference, you know, it will be there, Deno Watt, Art, and a whole conversation. You know, someone in the audience to ask if I ever really ran away from him, said I wouldn't fight him, you know, for Deno Watt to answer, something like that, you know.
Oh, because he was saying that, right?
Yeah, since the first fight, you know. So the guy talked a lot of crap. And now, well, Maybe also, well, I forgot. Maybe I said something or other. Talk. I think I never talked. I think I responded and very little, you know? And now I said this thing about him that he was hiding, that he really was hiding. Well, he got pissed off there, said, I don't know what, and damn, let's stop talking now. Let's like on the 4th, we will fight and everything's fine. I said, well, stop talking. I never talked, man.
Yes, yes. I notice, but something you might not have noticed is that it's already selling the fight a lot, you know, because we're a week before the fight. Fight week hasn't even started, and that's all people are talking about, right? There will be UFC on Saturday, we know that, but your fight week seems to have started when you started sending the videos, right? So that's going to sell the fight a lot. And do you have a way you want to beat him? Is it by knockout, or have you thought about going for a submission like Glover? If the opportunity arises, would you be happier to win by submission or knockout?
Dude, anyway, really, well, dude, the finish would be, well, cool.
Unprecedented, right? Unprecedented, right?
Yeah, you know, but man, anything is possible, you know? I'm a guy who is realistic. If you watch my interviews, I always say, you know, because in a fight, man, you either lose or you win, you know? I want to win, you know? I'm doing everything, man, to be there, man, to leave with my arm raised, you know? Anything can happen. But man, I have such a desire, man, such a big desire, man. Like, man, yeah. You know? But not because I'm feeling good, you understand? And like an evolution that I've had since the first fight with him, right? From my last fight, in this case, man, I've evolved a lot, you know? Like a little before the fight with Caleb, right? The fight I had with him, I was talking to Glover, I said, man, I think it was in a training or something like that. I said, Glover, man, it seems like now I get it, dude. My switch, you know, the switch flipped and all, and I started to really get things going, man. The way I was, I couldn't show it and all, but I'm in the same feeling, you know, and like, I see that I'm evolving well, I'm learning a lot, and like, man, sometimes people don't want to give credit, you know. I've trained with many people, but I've never seen anyone talking, right? Like saying about, oh, hi, Alex, I saw you trained with Alex. Oh, they talk over there and stuff, but damn, they never talk over here.
Really? The guys are hiding their game.
Ask, man, everyone who has trained with me, you know, whether it's boxing, MMA, or jiu-jitsu, just ask, man. And people don't talk, you know. Sometimes it's a bit of, I don't know.
I understand. Well, I won't take much more of your time. I just have a few more questions, and the next one is this. Did you win the belt again? You've already beaten everyone in the category, because Jiri Prochaska and Khalil Rondu will be fighting on the same night and want to compete for the belt. One has already lost twice, the other lost. They will lose again too. Neither of them can beat you.
Are you going to stay in this category, or are you going to try to move up to win 3 belts?
No, man, this is my category. I feel good, right? Yeah. Well, I don't know what's coming next, right? I want to win this fight. And well, whatever the UFC thinks should be done, I'll embrace the idea. And well, I just want to fight, you know? I'm 38 years old. I want to make the most of it, and that's it.
Do you have a date, an age until when you think you'll fight? Like, I don't know, until 40, 41? Or is there no date as long as you're feeling good?
No, man, I like to fight, you know? I really enjoy training.
And the money is good too, right? The champion's money isn't bad either, right?
No, for sure. It's good. Yeah, man, if I had, you know, the condition, my body and all, I'm that kind of guy who, how can I say, for example, I'm on a plane and I think like this, if this plane crashes, I'm going to save myself, you know? Like, I'm going to save myself, you know? And then, like, I think, man, me at 50 years old, damn, I was there fighting, for example, you know?
Yes.
At 50 years old, they're fighting, going head to head with the younger guys, and it's like...
I understand. It's like it's you showing that you're still in the game, right? You're a very competitive guy. And do you think about becoming a coach after you finish fighting to pass on your techniques?
Yes, I have my kids, right? And they really wanted to, you can see, and they're learning a lot. So I don't know what my commitment would be like. But for example, like Glover is there at his gym, but Glover travels, does things too and all. An example there, I'm living in Canaria and I won't live there. I would be there, not at my gym, because I don't want that. But yeah, I would be there with Glover and helping the team, and my kids are with me, you know, because I don't want that commitment, right?
We today I received the report here that we have 706 children enrolled in the institute, right? So, well, we're doing something.
Maybe people will say, wow, are you going to stop? But hey, won't people be left hanging? No, no one will be left hanging. I have today 706 people are enrolled in my institute in São Bernardo do Campo. So, and hey, I can go there, I can do a big class with them, a seminar, right? Or I can also do seminars too, which somehow I will be profiting and still teaching people, you know?
I understand. Now, let me ask you, so you're going to stay living in Connecticut for now, that's your plan, right? Even after
Yeah, that's my plan because my kids still study there, okay?
are your children there? But let me ask you something else. So I saw your two children training, which you posted in the video. They both have your style, right? The low guard, the movement. But the question I wanted to ask you is this: how did you get them to fight? Was it you who encouraged them, or did they do it on their own, or did you put them in a little school?
They did it. Like, they really started training when they got to Denver. It's been 3 years that they have been there. Before, they had never trained like that. Like, oh, it was once when they were, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old, and once in a while at the gym there, but they would put the little gloves on and just hit the punching bag, things like that. Or sometimes at home, they would do some movement for him to dodge, hit, things like that. There's a video.
But they really started training when they arrived in Denver, in Canaria. The first year they would go and not go because I was, well, still adapting there. Everything was new to me. And so, like, it was a bit difficult the first year. So
They hardly trained. But for 2 years now, they've been steady. Like, man, I'm really happy because even with these 3 years of training, 2 or 3 years of training, I'm not on top of them, you know? Like,
Forcing, right? Not forcing.
no, I'm not forcing them, and I'm not teaching them either. Honestly, man, a couple of times we did it, some training like that to make footage for the UFC in the countdown, you know?
Promotion, right? Promotion.
And actual classes, like I said, I'm going to teach you and all. We did that once or twice, you know? So, like, he's evolving there with Glover, with Glover's team, in Glover's class. And another thing is the style, right? So, the style they are doing, man, they are seeing, and damn, maybe, I don't know, a bit of genetics, but not just genetics, without taking away their merit. They are very intelligent. Maybe it's a bit of that genetics, right? But man, they study, they see there, you know, they like to watch. So they are learning, and I start to look at the two there. Well, it's a style, like, how can I say, man? Yeah, it's a bit different, a bit more aggressive, another a bit more technical, but it's the style there is it's kind of similar to mine. So I'm really happy that they are learning kind of because of this style, and man, they have everything to be champions too. Like they talk about fighting in the UFC, right? Fighting in the UFC 400, and man,
I am very happy with all this.
Yeah, and will Poatan be in UFC 400 too, competing there with his kids, or will he have already stopped? We'll see, right?
Maybe. Let's see.
Another question I was going to ask you is this. We see in the videos that you bring all these people to help you, and there was a younger kid there that you said, oh, this is the team mascot. You even bought him a suit. The question I wanted to ask is this: is there already a new Poatan there around 12, 13, 14 years old who isn't your son, and you say, wow, this guy is going to be a UFC champion, that in, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years, we'll see one of these guys in the UFC? Is there already some kind of prodigy there at Glover's gym?
but what are you talking about? About style, or no? You mentioned the new Porter. No, about a talent, right?
I mean, for someone to reach your level, right? Because maybe you don't, obviously you notice, but it's because I tell everyone, I say there's no Ilia Topuria, and I'm not saying this because you're here. Today you are the most well-known guy in the UFC, right? Probably the biggest star the UFC has. That's why they didn't have the fight in Abu Dhabi. They're doing it in Las Vegas with the Twitter thing you did, which you later said was a mix-up with Ariel Helwani. So my question is there another champion coming out of Glover's gym that you already see as a kid that you're already taking care of?
Possibility. We don't know what happens, right? But I tell you, compared to other teams, right? Glover's gym, the team is small. I don't know the exact number now, right, of people there, but many young people there with talent, and like most of our team there, you look there, they fight amateur. right? And man, the level, that's why I liked it and stayed there, man, because before going to Glover's, I had already trained jiu-jitsu, MMA with other teams and like people, teams like that. Not big, but let's say bigger than Glover's team of people like that. Because was there another champion then in another gym? Because Glover was the champion. No. Okay, take Glover out, you know. But they were big teams, and like, man, the guys at Glover's gym gave me a lot of work, dude. So like we see the level, right, of our team, right? See the people who are there, new people who damn are gaining experience. I see, right? Some people that have this great talent. I was talking about Blue. I said, man, what does this guy do? And so on. No, this guy is studying, man. How come? Like, so I see some things that like it's just if they want, and like I see a lot of talent, you know.
Got it. Poatan, hey, I wanted to thank you for the interview. Like I told you, you're at the training camp here on Friday. Well, good luck. We'll be cheering for you. We'll do a live stream. Send a hug to everyone because we'll be cheering during the live stream on Saturday to watch you. So big thanks for participating in the interview, huh?
That's it, folks. Thank you. Let's go. We're in this together. Yeah, on the 4th, that's it. We're going to fight, throw punches. I'm ready for this fight. I feel confident. I'm excited. I'm happy, you know. I'm here with my team. We're all here in a house, everyone, together all the time. And, well, that's it. Because, well, I want to bring more joy to all of you, all my fans. Thank you very much because, well, these people, I'll tell you, when I do something is happening, they really back me up, right? Because they know that, well, I'm telling the truth. I'm a sincere guy, a correct guy, and, well, they will be on the right side, right? Well, that's it. And taking advantage of Moicano's channel here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, okay? And that's us. Let's go.
Hey, let's send a contribution there to go to both. I heard it's possible to do that. I'll ask to call Pro. But let me tell you, your channel is really good. I was talking to my editor here because it's not just about putting a lot of editing. It has to be the right clips. It's really good. You're killing it with the content here. The editor is also a fan of yours, so we'll definitely be rooting for you. Now tell us the knockout or the submission. Which round will it be so people can bet on it?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Just put it there on stake there.